Part 53. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 521. The blood python is like a dragon. After condensing in Mo Feng's hand, it rushed directly towards Xiao Xian's chest at an extremely fast speed, like a red horse. To this, Xiao Xian did not dare to neglect, and looked at the blood python with a solemn expression. As the skills in his hand slowly moved around, a circular golden barrier was formed in front of him. After the bloody giant python rushed over, it collided heavily with Xiao Xian's golden barrier. Then under the huge reaction force, Xiao Xian remained motionless, but Mo Feng fell back one after another. In the end, Mo Feng's face was full of horror and he looked at Xiao Xian in disbelief. Although he has just entered the spiritual realm, but with the power of martial arts and the treasures and spiritual weapons given by the Kanglong royal family, he believed that his fighting ability was definitely the best in the spiritual realm. Even if there are 2 or 3 practitioners of the same level, Mo Feng is still not afraid. But who knew that with just one move, he would be defeated by Xiao Xian? This was something he couldn't believe. But even so, he had to admit that things were so unbelievable, that he was defeated inexplicably. You actually have such strength. Mo Feng gritted his teeth and couldn't believe his eyes. Xiao Xian was not surprised at all. The round golden shield that he used just now was actually formed by condensing the power of the great power in his body, and it was the first time he used it. Can have such an effect. It was also what he expected. The reason is very simple, it is because this golden barrier was just learned and understood in the secret realm, and it is also Gong Sun Hei's move. You know, Mo Feng comes from the Kanglong royal family. Speaking of which, his skills and moves are unique and somewhat famous. However, if you want to compare their Kanglong royal family's moves with Gong Sun Hei's, they are one on earth and one in the sky. Not to mention the few moves Mo Feng learned. Even if his father Mo Hong is here, he can't compare to the moves in Gong Sun Hei's hands. So now, Xiao Xian can easily win Mo Feng without any guesswork. Snored. I succeeded by luck, what's so great about it? Today, I will show you my true strength. Mo Feng failed in one move, and his face was a little confused. He gritted his teeth and changed the moves in his hand, and punched Xiao Xian in the chest. This fist was waved with a black wind. It can be seen from this power that if this punch had been hit hard, Xiao Xian would have lost half his life. Seeing this scene, Mo Li and Mo Zhan also saw it. They all looked at Xiao Xian with complicated expressions, one worried and the other sarcastic. But Xiao Xian didn't really care about this. He could feel that although Mo Feng's moves looked exquisite, the power of the great Dao in his body was far inferior to his. It seems that the foundation is not very solid. At this time, Xiao Xian also had enough confidence. A sword was swung out. As the long sword and fist collided, the fierce sword energy swept over, and Mo Feng's body was blown away like a fallen leaf in the wind. The sword energy of the long sword is still continuous. He directly tore the bloody python that just appeared into pieces. At the same time, the sword energy had to be strangled towards Mo Feng's chest unmercifully. With such a fierce sword energy, as long as it touched Mo Feng's body, the latter would definitely die. Master Xiao, wait. Crucial moment. Mo Li flew away, unsheathing the long sword in his hand, and a silver halo blocked Mo Feng's body, blocking the sword energy in an extremely thrilling way. See here. Xiao Xian also frowned slightly. He really didn't hold back on that move just now. Perhaps, for people like Wang Limeng and Ling Yun, Mo Feng was the Kanglong royal family and someone they could not afford to offend. But to Xiao Xian, this Mo Feng was nothing special. In the secret realm, even if he was really killed, it didn't seem to be a big deal. As for Mo Li, Mo Zhan and the other two, Xiao Xian didn't have much interaction with them. Mo Zhan lowered his head with difficulty. But he hesitated whether to kill Mo Feng in front of Mo Li. At most, Mo Li could only spare her life because of her previous relationship. Xiao Xian narrowed his eyes. Puck. Don't bully others too much. We are the Kanglong royal family. If you... How? After losing today, I will definitely find a way to take revenge in the future. Mo Li was taken aback and raised the sword in her hand again. However, it could be seen from her posture that she obviously had little confidence in facing Xiao Xian. If we let him go today. Now Mo Li actually took action and saved Mo Feng, which was something that Xiao Xian cared about. Xiao Xian. I'm afraid that I will continue to have troubles in the future. When he saw the blood gushing out from his chest like a waterfall, his eyes were full of disbelief. Since my eldest brother has been defeated, please show mercy to Mr. Xiao Xian and spare his life. The Chunyang sword technique was born for killing, and the fierce sword energy completely destroyed all Mo Zhan's energy in almost an instant. This is obviously impossible. Relative to Moli. This is something Xiao Xian doesn't want to see. Princess Mo Li, do you also want to go against me, Mr. Xiao? Mo Li cupped his hands, gritted his teeth and said politely to Xiao Xian, as long as young master Xiao Xian is willing to raise his hand, our Kanglong royal family is willing to owe you a favor. If Mo Li hadn't stopped him, he would have rushed over right now. The speaker was Mo Zhan. Mo Zhan was serious, but his eyes were red. But now, although he and Mo Li were not familiar with each other, they had met each other before. For a moment, Xiao Xian was really hesitant. However, before he could finish his words, his chest was directly pierced by Xiao Xian's long sword. Mo Zhan Mo Feng, they are considered to be the most powerful Kanglong royal family members in this secret realm. Xiao Xian's face was cold, he glanced at Mo Li and Mo Zhan, and said, I'm afraid you two won't forget what happened today. But even so, they were all killed and injured so easily and were eliminated by Xiao Xian. Even if Mo Li had the strength, could he still destroy Xiao Xian alone? You actually killed Mo Zhan. Master Xiao Xian. Just rely on Mo Feng's character. After hearing about Mo Li's family, Xiao Xian was non-committal. He knew one thing. It is said that if you cut the weeds without removing the roots, they will grow again with the spring breeze. He wasn't hesitant about killing Mo Feng. After all. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 522. After hearing Xiao Xian's threatening words, Mo Li couldn't help but feel frightened. She could feel that although Xiao Xian did not speak clearly, the meaning behind it was already obvious. If she really wants to choose the same stance as Mo Feng Mo Zhan, I'm afraid the final result won't be that good. Xiao Xian might even take action again and leave her dead here. For a moment, the situation is reversed. Even Mo Li, who was mentally stable, couldn't believe it. Just now, the three members of the Kanglong royal family were the most powerful party in the secret realm. Who knew that in the blink of an eye, the three of them were beaten to death and injured by Xiao Xian. At the moment, Xiao Xian is still showing mercy. Otherwise, I'm afraid she would already be a corpse. Hiss. Mo Li couldn't help but take a breath of air. Looking at Xiao Xian, she couldn't help but ask, Master Xiao Xian, do you mean that if I don't go against you, will you let me go? Say it. Wang Lei and Meng Lingyun were no less surprised than Mo Li. You must know that Mo Li's status is not that of an ordinary person. The third princess of the royal family has a status that is transcendent in the entire Kanglong Empire. On weekdays. Not to mention sect disciples like Wang Lai Meng Lingyun. Even their master would be respectful to the princes and princesses of the Kanglong royal family. Who knew that Xiao Xian, a casual cultivator, could directly attack the Kanglong royal family. This is simply something they can't even imagine. Many friends, many paths. If the third princess of the Kanglong royal family is kind to others, why must I be your enemy? Xiao Xian shook his head and chuckled. What he said was not a casual remark, but what he really thought in his heart. If he really wanted to say it, there were some things that he might not necessarily have to fall out with Emily. On the contrary, he felt it vaguely. The Emily in front of her is much stronger than Mo Feng Mo Zhan in terms of character and talent. Perhaps, her future achievements are also limitless. Hearing this, Emily also breathed a long sigh of relief. After all, if it comes down to it, if Xiao Xian must cause trouble for her, it seems that she really has no solution. Xiao Xian, Mo Feng, are at odds with you. Just when Xiao Xian was about to let Emily go, a voice suddenly came from behind him. It was Mo Feng who had just been defeated. Hearing this, Xiao Xian couldn't help but look back at Mo Feng, with a slight sarcasm on his face. He had to say that Mo Feng was a little bit not very smart. Just now, he had clearly been defeated by Xiao Xian. Anyone with eyesight can see it. Xiao Xian has already had murderous intentions towards him. If Mo Feng had been a little smarter, he would have just lied on the ground and pretended to be dead, even though it would have hurt his reputation as a member of the Kanglong royal family. But let's talk about it. Compared with a small life, a little face from the royal family seems to be nothing. Xiao Xian's understanding of this matter can be said to be deeper and more painful. You must know that during his thousands of years of cultivation, he has met countless powerful and venerable people, and even he himself has been in dangerous situations several times. Even life-threatening. However, unlike those cultivators who insist on saving face and suffering, Xiao Xian believes in one sentence: if you keep the green hills, you will not be afraid of running out of firewood. Just keep your own life. There may be opportunities for a comeback in the future. Just like now, Mo Feng is obviously no longer Xiao Xian's opponent, and even his own life is in the hands of others. What qualifications does he have to be arrogant and domineering? Haha. At this moment, facing Shang Mo Feng's anger, Xiao Xian smiled instead of being angry, and then walked up to Mo Feng in front of everyone. Looking at Mo Feng, whose eyes were red, Xiao Xian sneered, "Your Highness Mo Feng, originally, for the sake of the third princess, I planned to spare your life, but now it seems that it is no longer necessary. You, what are you going to do? I am the Kanglong royal family. If you harm me, I will definitely plunge you into a place of eternal disaster. You will never be reincarnated." Mo Feng roared hoarsely. However, behind his roar at this moment, it was revealed that he was unsure of himself. Xiao Xian was too lazy to explain too much to such a stubborn eldest prince. Instead, he looked back at Wang Lei and Meng Lingyun, with a little more encouragement in his eyes. "Master Xiao Xian. Master Xiao." Wang Lei and Meng Lingyun were shocked at the same time. Meng Lingyun, needless to say, but Wang Lei was in the Mo Feng camp before, and now he can clearly see the situation of Mo Feng and Mo Li. Xiao Xian hardly needed any urging. Wang Lei even wanted to defect to Xiao Xian's men. But one thing is needed to take refuge, and this thing is called a report certificate. So now, Xiao Xian gave Wang Limeng and Ling Yun a chance to perform, and it was also the reason why they took the initiative to join him. What are you going to do? Although Mo Feng is arrogant. But now, after seeing Xiao Xian's words and deeds, he also felt a chill running down his spine, and he clearly felt that some things seemed to be beyond his control. Wang Lei and Meng Lingyun also understood. At this moment, if you want to get out alive in the secret realm, the first person you have to please must be Xiao Xian. As for people like Mo Feng and Mo Li, although they are members of the Kanglong royal family, this title is only useful outside, and is useless in the secret realm. Even if he is really killed, most likely he will become a living dead in the Valley of Ghostly Souls a few decades later. Isn't the arrogant Mo Jean just an example? Your Highness Mo Feng. Don't blame us for being indifferent. Everything is done by ourselves. Wang Lei is also a ruthless person. Before, in the Qinglei Palace, he was able to become the direct disciple of Wang Ao, the master of the Qinglei Palace, among the disciples of the sect, and it was definitely not just his talent that he relied on. What's more, they are ruthless and cruel. It is said that back then, many of his fellow disciples from Qinglei Palace were destroyed by Wang Lei behind his back just because they competed with him for training resources. The beginning of entering the secret realm. Wang Lei thought that Mo Feng, with his background in the Kanglong royal family, should easily be able to get the opportunity in the secret realm. Who knew that he would be defeated by Xiao Xian in such a ridiculous way? At the same time, he also remembered what Mo Feng did to him. At this time, I saw Mo Feng in despair again. If Wang Lei hadn't added insult to injury, it would probably be out of character for him. Wang Lei. Aren't you, Qinglei Palace, afraid of the revenge of our Kanglong royal family? Mo Feng was scared. He was confident before because he had accurately identified King Xiaoxian, Lei Menlingyun, Zhao Ho and others, so he did not dare to do anything to him, the Kanglong royal family. But things are different now. Judging from Wang Lei's intentions, it seems that he is really going to fall out. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 523. Seeing Wang Lei with a stern expression. Thinking of what Wang Lei had done before, this time, Mo Feng really felt a little unsure and couldn't help but take a few steps back. But the injuries on his body when he fought with Xiao Xian just now made him unable to help but look painful. This detail may seem small, but he was noticed by the experienced Wang Lei. Unlike Mo Feng, the pampered eldest prince, Wang Lei had worked his way up from the bottom before entering Qinglei Palace. Although he has experienced battles, he is not as good as Xiao Xian. However, it was naturally easy to handle Mo Feng, who was also seriously injured. Your Highness Mo. I'm sorry. Good and evil will be rewarded in the end. If you want to blame, just blame you for provoking people you shouldn't have provoked. As soon as Wang Lei finished speaking, a green thunder suddenly appeared in his hand and hit Mo Feng directly in the chest. Although he only practiced in the secret realm for a few days. However, the rich spiritual energy in the secret realm still benefited Wang Lei a lot, and his strength has reached the peak of the power of the avenue, and half of his feet have stepped into the threshold of the spiritual god realm. The blue thunder is like the thunder of heaven and earth. Instantly it exploded in Mo Feng's chest. Mo Feng had been seriously injured, and his fighting ability had long since faded. At this time, facing the danger of his life, he no longer even had the power to summon the spirit treasure. After widening his eyes, before he could even say a word, a big hole was opened in his chest by Qing Lei, and scarlet blood spurted out instantly. The people present were shocked. Xiao Xian didn't care about this. For him, it was completely normal for someone to die. After all, he had seen countless cultivators over the years. Not to mention people like Mo Feng who actively seek death. Even if some practitioners had accidents and died tragically in front of him, it was very common. However, what surprised him was that Mo Li next to him also had a calm face and watched Mo Feng die without even saying a word. Master Xiao Xian. Mo Feng, dead. Wang Lei was also smart, and he also understood that the moment he took action against Mo Feng, he was completely on Xiao Xian's side. In this case, he was facing Xiao Xian respectfully at this moment. It can be regarded as expressing one's attitude. Oh, I see. Let's see if there is anything valuable among the space instruments he and Mo Jean have. Anyway, Mo Feng is dead. As a member of the Kanglong royal family, he should have some treasures on his body. These things should not be given away, but what Xiao Xian is more concerned about at this moment is Mo Li's attitude. Although judging from previous behavior, Mo Li seems to have a bad relationship with Mo Feng. But after all, they were both members of the Kanglong royal family. Watching Mo Feng die before their eyes, Mo Li would also have some psychological fluctuations. Princess Mo. Xiao Xian walked up to Mo Li and smiled slightly. I'm really sorry. What happened just now was too bloody and frightened Her Highness the Princess. Xiao Xian originally thought. Mo Li is also a princess after all. At this time, there will be some airs of being a princess. However, Mo Li just shook his head slightly and explained, it doesn't matter. In the secret realm, you rely on yourself. Mo Feng's death is entirely his own fault. Since he has chosen to go against young Master Xiao Xian, he will have to bear the consequences. Don't worry, I won't say anything after returning to the imperial court. Really? For this result, Xiao Xian was naturally willing to accept it. But, really speaking, he was really curious and wanted to find out what Mo Li was thinking. Is it possible that there is really some conflict between their royal families? Good. Although Mo Feng and Mo Jean and I are both members of the Kanglong royal family, our blood relationship is very weak. Normally, Mo Feng and Mo Jean have never looked up to other princes. Mo Li said matter-of-factly, this time, if it weren't for 3 people from the Kanglong royal family who could enter the secret realm, I'm afraid Mo Jean and I wouldn't have the chance to enter the secret realm. He hesitated. She continued, actually, from Mo Feng's point of view, Mo Jean and I are just tools. Listen to these words. Xiao Xian glanced at Wang Lei and Meng Lingyun and found that they both looked surprised, and they seemed to have also not expected such a result. Figure this out. He himself felt relieved and began to carefully examine the items in the Mo Feng space magic weapon. It's like looking at a monster. Master Xiao Xian, this is. He was looking for the other half of the map, but he didn't expect that he would be unable to find it even after trying hard to find it. It would take no effort to get it. Xiao Xian's actions naturally aroused Wang Lai Meng Lingyun's curiosity. This was not the first time he had seen this thing. When he first came to Dao Dao continent, he killed the Blood Sword sect and the young sect leader Bai Feng. Finally, I found these parchment scrolls in Mo Feng's space magic weapon. Let him search for the ruins here. Is this what Mr. Xiao Xian said is true? Tell the actual situation. All the time. All these treasures are given to us. These are all the treasures of His Highness the Kanglong royal family. If they are placed outside, which one of them would not be extremely precious? Young Master Xiao Xian is so generous. How could he be so generous that he didn't even care about the treasures of His Highness the Kanglong royal family? You can help yourself. According to the system, Xiao Xian is an ordinary casual cultivator. This is a secret place that I explored before. Unfortunately, I only got half of the map. Unexpectedly, I found the other half here today. At this moment, Wang Lei and others suddenly had strange expressions. Xiao Xian smiled. Xiao Xian found the sheepskin scroll he had obtained before, and put the two together, and they fit together instantly. The hidden location of the treasure was clearly marked on it. The expressions of these people were all seen by Xiao Xian. However, he didn't pay attention and didn't say too many words. He just waved slightly and said, since Mo Feng is dead, these treasures in his space magic weapon are also given to you. Xiao Xian just glanced at it and frowned tightly. Surprise. Originally, he just thought that it was filled with precious spiritual stones, magical artifacts, and other treasures. However, he did not expect that there was one thing that seemed a bit familiar to him at first glance. It was a parchment scroll. In his space magic weapon, he found half a parchment map. For this thing. You must know that on the great Dao continent, those precious cultivation resources are hard to come by. It is rare for ordinary cultivators to even see them, let alone get them. They all looked at Xiao Xian with incredulous expressions. The address of the treasure hidden in this half of the parchment map is Gongsun Hei's fire spirit swordsmanship, and the system also gave him a task. Is it possible that there is a bigger sect and stronger force behind him, or is it possible that Xiao Xian's strength can no longer be improved through these treasures? Even Mo Li couldn't help but come over. Wang Lei and the other three were shocked. Some are greedy, some are envious, and some are keeping their eyebrows down, not knowing what they are thinking about. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 524. Master Xiao Xian, is what you said true? Wang Lei swallowed a sip of saliva and glanced greedily and cautiously at the space magic weapon left by Mo Feng, his eyes full of caution. Xiao Xian's callousness when facing Mo Feng just now left a deep impression on him. Xiao Xian nodded slightly, agreeing to him. For a while. Not only Wang Lai Meng Lingyun, but also Mo Li also cast curious eyes. In any case, Mo Feng is the eldest prince in the Kanglong royal family, and his cultivation resources are naturally abundant. If Xiao Xian doesn't want them, they will naturally be interested. Watching Wang Lei and others fighting for it, Xiao Xian just smiled slightly. Didn't take this matter to heart at all. In fact, when he opened the Mo Feng space magical artifact just now, he took another look and found that there was really nothing he needed inside. The reason is also very simple. Before entering the secret realm, Mo Feng was still at the peak of his power. Therefore, the resources in his space magic weapon, except for some necessary Dao stones, are basically breakthrough items that can only be used in the realm of Dao power. These things may be useful to practitioners like Wang Lai Meng Lingyun who have sects behind them. But for Xiao Xian, the effect is not that great. Even if he gets it, it is a bit useless. It is better to go with the flow and give these things to them as a favor. The more important point is, if Xiao Xian swallowed all these things, Wang Lai Meng Lingyun and others got nothing, but only got some spiritual energy and Dao Qi in the core area of the secret realm, so they may not be of the same mind as Xiao Xian. But it's different now. Xiao Xian divided all kinds of precious resources from the Mo Feng space magical artifact. Others will more or less get some Mo Feng resources, so they will naturally side with Xiao Xian. Even if the situation is exposed in the future, there is no way for them to completely escape. At the same time, within the royal family of Kanglong Empire, Mo Hong's face was stern, and he looked directly at the close ministers and several sect leaders in the court, feeling depressed in his heart. Today was supposed to be the time to open Gongsun Hei's secret realm. Can be displayed according to the birth order sign. The people who entered the secret realm, except for the core servants, Zhao Ho from Wanbao Pavilion and Mo Feng Mo Zhan from the royal family were all dead. This is definitely not an acceptable thing for the royal family. More importantly, what makes Mo Hong angry is that the sect disciples in the Kanglong Empire, including Wang Lai Meng and Ling Yun, were able to escape unscathed, and even the casual cultivator Xiao Xian was unharmed. Your Majesty, the dragon body is important, please don't be angry. Seeing Mo Hong's gloomy expression, Elder Qi Qian quickly advised him cautiously, I heard that there is a method of summoning souls in the eastern continent of the continent, and the eldest prince and the seventh prince may have a chance to pass away. Returning to the afterlife still requires the soul to be intact. Both Fenger and Zhaner died in the secret realm. If you want to find their souls, you may have to go to the secret realm, but... Mo Hong's face was gloomy, if the secret realm disappears, where will I go to find their souls? The emperor was angry and shed millions of blood. For a while, the faces of everyone present became solemn. Even the most favored elder Qiqian frowned slightly, knowing that the emperor was really angry. Leader, it seems she's still here. However, under this suffocating situation, Amo Hong suddenly said something. Elder Qiqian was also stunned, nodded quickly, and explained, yes, Princess Emo Li has also entered the secret realm. Maybe she will help get the souls of the two princes back. By then, the two princes will have a chance to be resurrected. Elder Qiqian knows. Among Amo Hong's dozen princes and princesses, Amo Fen was the one he loved the most. Naturally, these are the people who followed Amo Fen into the secret realm. The secret realm is unpredictable. Even some of our ancestors in the Blood Fiend sect have no way to predict the situation inside, so anything can happen in the secret realm. If the old minister's prediction is correct, the remaining geniuses will soon come out of the secret realm. Otherwise, with the strength of the Kanglong royal family, they would already know what happened in the secret realm. Palace Master, Mengu Master, how do you two think Feng Er died? Amo Hong turned his head and glanced at Wang Ao and Meng Suiao with cold eyes. Wang Ao was stunned and felt a little guilty. To these answers. This. Finally, he folded his sleeves heavily and left voluntarily. Let's talk about it actually. He. It was Zhao Wuji of Wanbao Pavilion. After learning that Zhao Ho died in the secret realm, he was also extremely angry. In the future, he is very likely to become the backbone of Kanglong Empire's cultivation, and his future is immeasurable. Hearing these words from Meng Suiao, there is a barrier that isolates the world from the world in the secret realm. Not to mention them, even the ancestors of some sects cannot detect the situation inside. But now, having died inexplicably in the secret realm, Amo Hong will definitely not give up. In the end, he might even cause a bloody storm in the Kanglong Empire. Counting the days, the secret realm will be opened in these few days. Amo Hong's expression calmed down a little, and then he looked at Elder Qiqian questioningly. Regarding this look, Elder Qiqian also understood the meaning behind it. At this moment, he nodded quickly and explained, Your Majesty, don't worry. Every time the two sect masters said, this is indeed the case. The 10-day period will arrive soon. Amo Hong was far from satisfied. Even if Your Majesty doesn't investigate this matter, we at Wanbao Pavilion will never let it go. Seeing Amo Hong's anger, Meng Suiao also put away her previous cold demeanor and patiently explained, it's better to wait until Wang Lei and Meng Lingyun come out of the secret realm, and then we can inquire and know the situation at that time. In fact, it does not necessarily mean that he really wants to get the answer to the question. Instead, it just shows an attitude of distrust towards Wang Ao and Meng Suiao. Your Majesty, please calm down. Amo Feng was also very ambitious. With his own talent, he became the strongest genius of the younger generation of the Kanglong royal family, and he also got his wish and became the Grand Highness of the Kanglong royal family. Now, Amo Hong asked him directly. The first to bear the brunt. In addition, he also relied on his talent to become a practitioner in the Kanglong temple. Only Wang Ao and Meng Suiao were left looking at each other with a bit of helplessness on their faces, and they were equally anxious in their hearts, wondering what was going on in the secret realm. The speaker is no one else. However, if you really want to talk about it, he doesn't seem to have a good solution. Elder Qiqian. When the time comes, just ask the third princess what happened in the secret realm. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 525. After Zhao Wuji finished speaking, he turned around and left. Now, After hearing the threats from Mo Hong and Zhao Wuji one after another, both Wang Ao and Meng Suiao looked solemn, and their moods were not as relaxed as before. To know. As the emperor of the Kanglong Empire, Mo Hong is not a weak king with no power to restrain the chicken. On the contrary, he is the famous iron-blooded emperor in the history of the Kanglong Empire. With the self-created Kanglong body training technique, this group of Kanglong royal family can be regarded as the most powerful group in hundreds of years. Therefore, even some of the former enemy countries around them have made slight changes in their policies towards the Kanglong Empire. Some of them have taken the initiative to show their kindness, and even actively formed alliances. The entire Kanglong Empire is under the leadership of Mo Hong. With continuous expansion over the years, it has become the most powerful empire around, with its territory nearly doubling its size a few years ago. Therefore, Mo Hong, the emperor of the Kanglong Empire, is also known as the greatest emperor of the empire. Now his most beloved son. He died inexplicably and mysteriously in a secret realm. He could even think about it with his knees. He was afraid that Mo Hong would not let it go. Master of Dream Valley. I wonder what Lord Mengu thinks of this matter. Seeing Mo Hong and Zhao Wuji leaving, Wang Ao took the initiative and said to Meng Suiao, I know my disciple. Wang Lei should not be the one who killed Mo Feng. Could it be, that he is your disciple? Originally, Meng Suiao was expressionless. But after hearing Wang Ao's words, his face became a little ugly. They are different from fledgling practitioners like Wang Lai Meng Lingyun. Both of them have been in society for many years and have extremely rich experience. At this time, as soon as Wang Ao said his words, Meng Suiao understood what he meant. It's nothing more than diverting misfortune eastward. He wanted to blame the deaths of Mo Feng and Mo Zhan on the blood evil sect and make Meng Lingyun the scapegoat this time. This was something Meng Suiao didn't want to agree to, and couldn't agree to. Palace Master, aren't your words a bit heartbreaking? Meng Suiao said with a bit of contempt on her face. If Palace Master thinks that we, the blood evil sect, are all people who can be bullied casually, then, big mistake. Ha ha ha. Master Mengu misunderstood. I was just talking casually, how could I possibly cause the blood evil sect to be wronged? Wang Ao was stunned. He really thought about whether he could use some means to let the blood evil sect take over the matter of Mo Feng Mo Zhan, so that they, Qinglei Palace, could escape. Unexpectedly, Meng Suiao found out before he could say anything. This was really something he didn't expect. For a moment, Wang Ao still looked a little embarrassed. But after all, he was experienced. As soon as he rolled his eyes, he thought of something and said directly, in that case, let's open the skylight and speak openly. Master Mengu doesn't want Mo Feng Mo Zhan to get into trouble, right? Certainly. Meng Suiao opened her mouth. Finally, I have to admit this. After all, if you really want to talk about it, whether it is Qinglei Palace or Blood Evil Sect, they are the sect forces on the ground of Kanglong Empire. On someone else's territory. No matter what you say or do, you naturally have to look at other people's faces and take their face into consideration. Nowadays, with such big things happening in the Kanglong Empire royal family, they still have to participate to some extent, or at least show their willingness to help. This will also help them gain a foothold in the Kanglong Empire. However, with His Majesty's attitude, the matter between Mo Feng and Mo Zhan may not be so easy to resolve, Wang Ao continued. So to say, has the palace master decided to come up with his own solution? Meng Suiao looked at Wang Ao and became interested. If you just want to divert trouble to the east and let us people from the blood evil sect take over, then there is no need to say more. In the secret realm, anything can happen, but those of us outside have no way of knowing. She said this. Instead, Meng Suiao sneered, I have always heard about the conduct of the palace master. If you have anything, please just tell me directly. The skills he cultivates are not weak at all. The Blood Evil sect can be on an equal footing with sects like King Glay Palace Wan Bao Pavilion. Meng Suiao's strength is definitely obvious to all. Both King Glay Palace and the Blood Evil sect will be unlucky. Wang Ao followed the temptation and continued to ask, if there is no countermeasure, I am afraid that the problem we will face in the end will be a bit troublesome. At the same time, he looked at Wang Ao. The palace master is too modest. Wang Ao smiled. Wang said arrogantly, therefore, there are some things that need to be explained by those who have experienced it in the secret realm, so I think it is still necessary for us to cooperate. But despite this, he didn't expect Meng Suiao to be so straightforward. She didn't say anything, but she spoke like this. Doesn't this mean you don't take him to heart at all? Wang Ao next to him suddenly looked a little embarrassed. Of course I know this. Meng Suiao's face softened slightly, and she also understood that Wang Ao said it was okay. Wang Ao was not angry at these slightly harsh words. He just laughed and continued, Master Mengu misunderstood, am I, Wang Ao, that kind of person? Meng Suiao could taste the flavor behind this. Wang Ao saw Meng Suiao's serious face and simply said, this time, the two highnesses Mo Feng and Mo Zhan died inexplicably in the secret realm. I am afraid that your majesty will not let it go. Doesn't Lord Mengu know this? What? Meng Suiao also had no expression on her face, feeling troubled in her heart. She also understood that with Mo Hong's character, if this matter could not be brought to light, the matter would probably be pinned on the two sects in the end. Judging from this matter, Meng Suiao is really a little irritable. I'll just say it. Master Mengu should know. Wanting to understand this, Meng Suiao was somewhat moved. Although she is a woman. What she said was quite significant. After working on it for a long time, Wang Ao planned to cheat and let this matter pass. I wonder if Master Mengu has any countermeasures. No matter how you say it, Wang Ao can be regarded as the leader of a sect, and now he is so ignored by Meng Suiao. The eyes of both of them were a little brighter, and they suddenly thought of a solution to the problem. Hear this. He also knew that as the leader of the sect, Meng Suiao naturally spoke and acted in an eclectic way. Although this method is shameless, it has to be said that it is a good solution. It can prevent King Glay Palace and Blood Evil sect from being punished, and can also turn this matter around. In that case. So. Hearing these words from Wang Ao, there was a bit of confusion on his face. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 526. Master Mengu is a smart man. There are some things that I don't need to explain too clearly. Seeing Meng Suiao was a little moved. Wang Ao also got straight to the point, if the master of Meng Valley can understand the dream spirit, and I can understand Wang Lei, then the person who killed Mo Feng Mo Zhan must be Xiao Xian. Rao is prepared in his heart. Meng Suiao still felt a little guilty in her heart. She and Wang Ao knew very well that this was the intention of framing Xiao Xian and letting Xiao Xian take the blame, so that King Glay Palace and Blood Evil sect could stay out of the matter. Those who achieve great things don't stick to trivial matters. For the future of our two major sects, Xiao Xian is nothing more than a rogue cultivator with no ability. Not to mention letting him take the blame, but what if I kill him with my own hands? Wang Ao sneered, if this thing is successful, our two sects will be iron allies in the future. What does Master Mengu think? He said this. Meng Suiao was obviously hesitant. In battle, she was an unparalleled assassination master, but on this matter, she hesitated a little, and in the end she did not make her own decision. Isn't this a bit too cruel to Mr. Xiao Xian? Meng Suiao couldn't bear it. Cruel? There are many difficulties and obstacles in practicing a discipline. If you can't bear the danger, you will naturally end up with a handful of bones. What's the explanation? Speaking of which, Wang Ao's intentions were all revealed. Of course, if Lord Mengu is unwilling to cooperate, our King Glay Palace will naturally do it ourselves. When the time comes, your Majesty will vent his anger on others. Don't say that I, Wang Ao, didn't remind you. After saying that, Wang Ao waved his sleeves and left. In the secret realm. After Xiao Xian distributed the contents of the Mo Feng space magic weapon to everyone, he also looked at Meng Lingyun and Wang Lei with sharp eyes, wanting to see what else they had to say. Actually, he understands these sect disciples fairly well. Meng Lingyun was okay, after all, they came together in the secret realm, but Wang Lei was different. Although this guy looked well behaved now. But who knows if they will still have the same attitude when they meet the Kanglong royal family. This is a very important point. Mr. Xiao, do you have anything else to do? Regarding Xiao Xian's unusual behavior, Wang Lei and Meng Lingyun were not fools. They looked at each other and understood that Xiao Xian's performance just now must have a profound meaning. Don't you feel that the energy in the secret realm is about to be exhausted and the entire secret realm is about to collapse? Xiao Xian asked. This, seems to feel like this, Wang Lei quickly complimented. At that time, Elder Qi Qian said that the secret realm can only last for 10 days. Counting the days, today should be 8 or 9 days. We will leave the secret realm tomorrow at the latest. Meng Lingyun said seriously. Regarding this point, Xiao Xian looked more serious and said directly, after we go out, I believe that His Majesty will be interested in the death of Mo Feng and Mo Zhan. Do you know what you should say then? Xiao Xian asked this question straightforwardly. For a moment, the faces of the people next to him became a little solemn. They also generally understood that the way Xiao Xian behaved was because he was still concerned about the attitude of the Kanglong royal family after leaving the secret realm. Let's just say that the two princes died accidentally in the secret realm, Wang Lei asked carefully. How unexpected. Purple-striped rat wolves, let's just say that we encountered purple-striped rat wolves in the secret realm. The two princes Mo Feng and Mo Zhan were unfortunately killed while fighting against the purple-striped rat wolves. Do you think these two princes will take the initiative to break up the queen? Wang Lei was stunned and his face suddenly turned red. Yes. At this time, he also reacted. This question exposed his lie almost immediately. If nothing else, people like Mo Feng and Mo Zhan would definitely not do certain things if they relied on their status. At the very least, they would definitely not do something as dangerous as ending the lives of others. However, Wang Lei even lied and said that they died after being cut off. It doesn't take Mo Hong, the emperor of the Kanglong Empire, but even Xiao Xian to see through it at a glance. This is a lie. At the same time, Mo Li on the side heard Xiao Xian's words clearly. The purple-striped rat can be used, but, what I want to say more is, you might as well say that it was Mo Feng and Mo Zhan who took the initiative to provoke the purple-striped rat, so they suffered misfortune. Mo Li said. When she said these words, Xiao Xian's face looked a little strange. This time, he seemed to be able to feel that Mo Li didn't just say these words casually, but really wanted to do this, which was really beyond his expectation. No matter what you say, Mo Li is a serious member of the Kanglong royal family. Before, Xiao Xian also thought about asking her to come forward, so that the Kanglong royal family would be more likely to believe what she said, but after thinking about it, he still didn't feel embarrassed to speak. Who knew that Mo Li could take the initiative to make suggestions at this time? Is this what she really wants? Third princess. This suggestion from the third princess is very feasible, but I am a little worried about whether the Kanglong royal family can believe it. Xiao Xian looked at Mo Li tentatively. If the Kanglong royal family doesn't even want to believe my words, I'm afraid it will be even harder to believe your words. Emily smiled. So to say. Third princess is very confident now. Xiao Xian was even more surprised. What he could feel was, there are some things that seem to really require Emily's help. At the same time, he also hopes to consolidate the offensive and defensive alliance between them through this matter. Of course, when it comes to understanding the Kanglong royal family, can you still compare to me? Emily was full of confidence. The third princess is a member of the royal family after all, so she naturally knows better than us, but... Wang Lei also agreed, but couldn't say the second half of the sentence. How? Do you suspect that I will betray you? Emily thinks you is smart. After looking around, she finally focused on Wang Lei and Meng Lingyuan. This soul torture made the two of them embarrassed for a while. In fact, this was not only worried about Wang Lei Meng Lingyuan, but also worried about Xiao Xian. Before entering the secret realm, Mo Feng, Mo Li, Mo Zhan are undoubtedly allies of the Kanglong royal family. Now, although Mo Li did not side with Mo Feng at that time, after all, they are also members of the Kanglong royal family. After meeting Mo Hong, who knows whether Mo Li will switch sides? Then I will give you a guarantee. After Mo Li finished speaking, he directly picked up Mo Feng's empty space spirit weapon on the ground, held it slightly in his hand, and made the space spirit weapon explode in an instant. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 527. This scene. But it really surprised Xiao Xian and others. You must know that the so-called space treasure is a self-proclaimed space where personal belongings can be stored. The larger the space, the more precious the space treasure is. However, for ordinary cultivators, there are not many cultivation resources. Basically, they don't have too many precious space spiritual treasures. On the contrary, only royal aristocrats like Mo Feng Mo Zhan can have space spiritual treasures with large space, good protection, and high price. The most important is, for people like them, the space spirit treasures on their bodies basically have the function of identifying their master. Just now Xiao Xian used brute force to open the Fang Ling Bao, but despite this, he did not take action to erase Mo Feng's mark on it. Who knew that Mo Li would be so bold now? It directly erased the mark of Mo Feng on it. Xiao Xian knew that for princes of Mo Feng's level, the spatial spiritual weapons on their bodies would leave a mark on the royal family. Just like before. Mo Li erased the mark on Mo Feng's space spiritual weapon. Come to think of it, people in Kanglong Imperial Court already know about this matter. This, third princess, what do you mean? Wang Lei was also surprised. Now the Imperial Court already knows about this matter, so my suggestion is that you can blame Mo Feng Mo Zhan's death on me. Mo Li said casually. When she said these words, everyone present was shocked. Even Xiao Xian couldn't believe it, blaming everything on Mo Li? This is no joke. To be honest, even if she is a member of the Kanglong royal family, if she really commits the murder of Mo Feng and Mo Zhan, she may not be able to bear Mo Hong's anger. Third princess, did you say that casually? Meng Lingyuan couldn't help but interject. If your majesty knew that the deaths of His Highness Mo Feng and His Highness Mo Zhan were closely related to you, I'm afraid he wouldn't be able to let you go so easily. Let it go. He had no intention of letting me go. After Mo Li finished speaking, he found a place, sat cross-legged on the ground and started practicing. It was obvious that she didn't want to dwell on this matter. This time, even Xiao Xian felt something was a little different. He could roughly feel that since entering the secret realm, Mo Li seemed to be a little dissatisfied with Mo Feng Mo Zhan. Now, he was even willing to do such things as taking the blame. Is this going to completely break up with Mo Hong? Thinking of this, he couldn't help but look at Mo Li a few more times, and finally, he couldn't help but summon the system. Brother system. I seem to feel that this pool of water in Kanglong Empire is very deep. Xiao Xian said straight to the point, can you help investigate why this is happening? I feel that Mo Li's identity seems a bit unusual. There is nothing to say about the system's attitude towards him. After hearing this, he immediately responded, Master Host is indeed amazing. He can have such keen perception and meticulous observation. I am afraid that only cultivators like Master Host in the world can become the best in the world, the mighty Emperor. Really? Xiao Xian raised his eyebrows slightly, feeling a little strange. Of course, if I hadn't taken a fancy to your cultivation talents, how could I have chosen you as my host, the system said flatteringly. I see. However, it seems that you haven't answered my question directly yet. Could you please tell me who Mo Li is and why is this the case? Xiao Xian interrupted the system's nonsense. This time, the system sighed instead, Host, it's better not to ask. I can't bear to hear this girl's life experience. So miserable. What on earth could make this callous and heartless system of yours so intolerable? Xiao Xian became interested. In fact, since his relationship with the system has become closer and closer, in his usual jokes, he can roughly feel that the system is not actually so indifferent. Even from a certain perspective. The system let out another long sigh. Sometimes this makes him a little confused, and he even has an interest in breaking the casserole and asking the truth. The system knew Xiao Xian relatively well, and after hearing his previous words, it roughly understood the meaning behind his words. He has been practicing for so many years and has seen all kinds of practitioners. I feel that Mo Li will have great achievements in the future. Well. The corners of Xiao Xian's mouth raised slightly. Hear this sound. Later, after the two countries fought, the Qinghua Empire was defeated by the Kanglong Empire, and even its own princess was captured. What is this operation? The system said. Of course, don't you know that Mo Li seems a little different, Xiao Xian asked. What are you going to do? Moreover, can Mo Hong let another princess be his daughter? Tell me about it. Originally, this system didn't want to tell you, but since you want to ask, I'll tell you directly. This Mo Li is not Mo Hong's biological daughter, but an abandoned princess of the Qinghua Empire. This is enough to prove how much she is valued. After hearing this, Xiao Xian couldn't help being a little surprised. Xiao Xian stopped teasing and said directly, she seems to have a strange temperament, a kind of tenacity and perseverance, which I rarely see in other practitioners. At least there is something. In fact, he had already noticed that Mo Li was very talented in cultivation techniques and cultivation. Even as a princess of the Kanglong Empire, she was considered one of the best. Isn't this a bit funny? Why can abandoned princesses from other empires come to the Kanglong Empire? Will she even become the princess of the Kanglong Empire? He seems to be more like a personified, omniscient senior. But soon, Xiao Xian gave up this idea, joking, no matter how you say it, Mo Hong is a very capable person. Talk about it. Mo Li is a princess. After all, I can't hide it from your eyes. Can be the emperor of an empire. Based on Xiao Xian's previous experience. However, when he saw Mo Li, he was still attracted by her outstanding, noble, and arrogant temperament. Any cultivator with this kind of temperament will be able to achieve great success in the future. What's going on? Is it possible that he is a pervert and likes to be someone else's father? Is it possible that you plan to make a fuss about Mo Li? But, she turned into the abandoned princess of the Qinghua Empire? Moreover, Mo Li can follow Mo Feng and Mo Zhan into the secret realm. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 528. How? It sounds like you are very interested in this girl. The system also asked directly. This time, Xiao Xian seemed to hear a bit of excitement in the system's voice. This was really something that shocked him. In fact, he had a vague feeling about it during his recent communications with the system. The system does not seem to be a cold and heartless machine. On the contrary, in every conversation it had with Xiao Xian, in addition to selfless help, there were also some vague tendencies. For example, punishing evil and promoting good, helping the weak, following good, etc. Even some of the systematic suggestions revealed obvious personal emotions. At first, Xiao Xian really didn't care, thinking that he was just overthinking it, but after such things happened again and again, he understood that this matter was a bit mysterious. Logically speaking, the system was supposed to be a ruthless machine, but now that it showed that humans should have some emotions, it had to make him curious. But he also understands. Since the system has never actively explained these changes to him, the system is still unwilling to dwell on this matter. Xiao Xian thought for a while. I still feel that actively asking the system at this time is not a good choice. As the saying goes, many friends are many paths, many enemies are many walls. Since Mo Li is so talented, he might become a figure in the future. For such a person, it would be best if we could make friends in advance. Xiao Xian understood very well. The best time to make friends with someone is not after they have achieved fame and fame. On the contrary, you should take the initiative to make friends with them when they are still ordinary people. That's why he was so interested in Mo Li. That's what I mean too. The system pondered for a moment and said, if the host can make friends with Mo Li, maybe he will be a great help to you at some time in the future. Hear this. Xiao Xian is almost certain that the system is indeed not a cold machine system. It is very possible that he is a living person with consciousness and feelings. But at this moment, Xiao Xian had no evidence in hand, only inner speculation, which naturally could not be used as a criterion for judgment. He simply said, then brother system, how should I do it? Fulfill Mo Li's wish and help the Qinghua Empire recover, the system said. What? Restore the country? Hear this. Xiao Xian almost spit out a mouthful of salt soda. Isn't this really a joke? He hasn't been in Daodao continent for long, and he hasn't even fully understood his own cultivation. Now the system wants him to help others restore their country? To this Qinghua Empire. He didn't know much about it, but he could roughly understand that even if a majestic empire was not as powerful as the Kanglong Empire, at least it wouldn't be too weak. Why can he help others restore their country? Ding dong. System mission, help King Gli regain his country. Mission reward, a demon blood melting pill. Mission failed, 30% of the cultivation foundation was weakened. Just when Xiao Xian was planning to ask more details, the system's voice rang again, and it actually directly assigned him the task of restoring the country, which made Xiao Xian a little unbelievable. Especially the rewards and punishments of the system. It gave him a strange feeling. You know, since he got the system for so long, he has rarely seen the system proactively release system tasks with penalties. And this time, the system punishment even made him break out in a cold sweat. Weaken 30% of your cultivation foundation. This is much stricter than the previous so-called reduction of lifespan. It can be said that this punishment directly threatens his future in cultivation. Brother system, are you kidding me? For such a difficult task, you are rewarded with a pill? The punishment is so strict, aren't you asking me to die? Xiao Xian looked sad. Ahem, even if you really let me do this, you have to give me some convenience, right? This naturally caused dissatisfaction among the subjects of the Qinghua Empire. Qing Cheng is the #1 master in the Qinghua Empire. This is also done to stabilize the relationship between the two countries. But, as the saying goes, things come to an end. After returning to China, he died of poisoning within a few months. Many cultivators at the power level of the Great Dao, the spiritual god realm, and even the Kang god realm were killed on the spot, and even the masters of the Kang Long royal family suffered heavy losses. The pinnacle of Kang Shen realm. Their emperor sacrificed like this in order to solve the troubles of the Kang Long Empire. The Kang Long Empire should reciprocate and help protect the Qinghua Empire. More than half of the empire's subjects died instantly. The person who caused this disaster was a Kang Shen realm casual cultivator who practiced the Dao of poison. The system is still very good at this. Almost everyone believes that the relationship between the two countries will be long-lasting and stable. This rogue cultivator who came from nowhere, practiced some poisonous path, and had no idea what his purpose was, somehow self-destruct in the Kang Long Empire. Turn out to be. He reacted quickly and took the initiative to seek help from Qing Cheng, the emperor of the Qinghua Empire, hoping that the two countries could work together to solve this poisonous fog incident. But now it's a little different. The system doesn't seem to have many emotional fluctuations, and it seems to be very obsessed with this matter. After hearing Xiao Xian's conversation, he explained the matter. Because of this situation in the two countries. But thinking about the relationship between the two countries, Qing Cheng still took the initiative to come to the Kang Long Empire regardless of the opposition of Qinghua's domestic subjects. He also understood that it was an extremely dangerous thing for a master of the poison path in the Kang Shen realm to self-destruct, and if he got involved, he might also cause trouble. Qing Cheng and Mo Long, the emperor of the Kang Long Empire at that time, used various methods and finally sealed the poisonous mist, but they were both deeply poisoned by the poisonous mist, and their lamps ran out of oil. 3 years ago, a terrible disaster occurred in the Kang Long Empire. This sudden disaster almost caused the Kang Long Empire to be destroyed. It was precisely because of his death that the originally powerful Qinghua Empire changed from a powerful empire to an ordinary empire with average strength. The Qinghua Empire and the Kang Long Empire were once allies, and the two emperors had an irreversible relationship. The two countries worked together to mine minerals and resist foreign enemies. Even the next generation of the emperors had an early engagement. Qing Chen was injured more seriously because he used more force. At least let me know, this Moli I should call her Qing Li now, what happened to her, and what should I do? Isn't this too much to ask? It has aroused the covetousness of surrounding neighboring countries. But who knew that the Kang Long Empire did not do this, but instead encroached on the territory of the Qinghua Empire even more? The exploding poisonous mist swept through most of the Kang Long Empire. Xiao Xian put away his crying face and began to ask the system seriously. At that time, Mo Hong was just a prince of the Kang Long Empire, and his realm was only at the peak of the spiritual god realm. In the past, his pleading would probably arouse sympathy from the system and give him some explanations. Originally the Qinghua Empire thought. It is clear. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 529. For the Kang Long Empire's shameless behavior. The Qinghua Empire was naturally furious, but after losing Qing Cheng, the only Kang Shen realm master in the empire, the strength of the Qinghua Empire was no longer what it used to be. There has been a huge gap between the Kang Long Empire and the increasingly powerful Kang Long Empire. On the surface, the two empires still maintain a peaceful alliance, but privately, undercurrents have long been surging, and even some things seem to have been anticipated. People in the Qinghua Empire are not fools either. The meaning of the Kang Long Empire is already known to everyone on the road. Not to mention that the people of the Kang Long Empire are not hiding it at all now. Even if they are hiding it, they probably won't be able to hide it. Regarding this situation, Qinghua Empire did not sit still and wait for death. The empire took the initiative to send King Qin's only daughter Qingli to the Kanglong Empire to express the friendship between the two empires, and also ask Qingli to change her name to Emoli to express its attitude. Be willing to surrender. Such a gesture. For any empire in the world, this is an extremely humiliating matter. As for Qingli, who was sent as a hostage, he naturally had to bear the humiliation and even face the danger of his life. However, in order to prevent the future of the Qinghua Empire from being cannibalized, King Hua accepted this condition, changed his name to Emoli, and came to the Kanglong Empire. After listening to this story, even Xiao Xian also felt embarrassed. He had seen Emoli's age and found that her true age was around 20. He estimated that she might not have been 20 when she was sent to the Kanglong Empire. But she can be so determined. Being able to endure humiliation and work hard in a place like Kanglong Empire is enough to prove that she is an amazing person. Alright. Since she's so miserable, maybe I should help her. Xiao Xian nodded, I will accept this task. Regarding Xiao Xian's statement, the system did not have much obvious expression. Instead, it remained indifferent, as if it had expected this to happen. This was not unexpected by Xiao Xian. After all, his current relationship with the system is said to be complementary to each other. Although with his strength, he can sometimes do well on this continent even without the system. But there are some things that can really get twice the result with half the effort if there is system help. Just like before. Although Xiao Xian is not afraid of Mo Hongqing Cheng and his like, with his current strength in Dao continent, he has not yet reached the ability to trace the past. Without a systematic explanation, he really didn't know that there was such an unknown past between the Kanglong Empire and the Qinghua Empire. I said, brother system, you don't seem surprised at all. Did you already know that I would agree? Xiao Xian was somewhat powerless. Although now, he believes that with his talent and tenacity, he is still confident that he can succeed even without the help of the system. But what he had to admit was, every time the system made a request, he had a reason why he had to agree. Of course, after agreeing, he will also get corresponding benefits. The host is wise. After the system said this, it said no more. It was obvious that it seemed to have expected this matter. All right. In this case, I will try my best to do this well. Xiao Xian nodded slightly. He was also shocked by Emoli's choice. As a girl in her late teens or 20s, experiencing such a change was a cruel thing. And Emoli not only experienced this kind of thing, he even came to Kanglong Empire alone. I'm afraid only she knows the hardships involved. Thinking of this, Xiao Xian couldn't help but take a closer look at Emoli, who was practicing independently in the distance. At the same time, he also understood why there was always an inexplicable feeling in Emoli. Not like a noble royal princess. Instead, he looks like an ordinary cultivator who has climbed up from the bottom step by step. The corners of Elder Qiqian's eyes twitched, and he looked sharply at Xiao Xian and the people behind Xiao Xian. Luck, it's just that a few of us are lucky. Before Xiao Xian could answer, Emoli took the initiative and said, it was our mistake that we failed to protect the two princes. This is the space magic weapon of the two princes, but, the contents inside have been used by us. The eldest prince Mo Feng, the seventh prince Mo Zhan, Wanbao Pavilion Zhao Ho, and some sex servants are all in danger. Xiao Xian did not hide it. Emoli is still a disciple of Elder Qiqian. Before these officials could step forward, they were stopped by Elder Qiqian. I don't know how long it took to fall. These days in the secret realm seem to be going smoothly, but there are still many dangers, if it weren't for his extraordinary strength. Xiao Xian glanced at the surrounding situation, and his face showed a bit of fatigue. Even the well-informed Xiao Xian was a little surprised by the situation. Boom! The leader was none other than Elder Qiqian, the fifth-ranked Dan King. When the last ray of golden light disappeared, Xiao Xian and others only felt a sting in their eyes, and their bodies seemed to be attracted by a strong attraction. Their feet were empty and they fell involuntarily. Oh! It looks like we're leaving. The secret realm should collapse. When he opened his eyes again, he was surrounded by the mountains of the Kanglong Empire, and the shadowy Kanglong Forbidden Army was gathering in the distance. I've met Elder Qiqian. He looked indifferent. Countless white mist rose up in Yada's secret realm, tall trees and mountains burst apart, rivers and streams stopped flowing, and monsters of Warcraft also roared in terror. For the aggressive Elder Qiqian. After taking a look at Xiao Xian, he nodded slightly and responded, "Thank you for your hard work. You must have encountered a lot of dangers in the secret realm this time. Finally landed. I'm afraid I won't be able to get out of this world." Xiao Xian was neither humble nor arrogant. He took the initiative to step forward and bowed his hands in a polite manner, as if nothing happened. However, this period of time in the secret realm was not wasted, and he still got a lot of benefits. Suddenly there was a golden light between heaven and earth. Just when Xiao Xian and others were seizing the time to practice silently, trying to consume the last bit of benefit in the secret realm, there was a sudden loud noise in the secret realm. The next day. This is not a very polite thing to say. If that's the case, why aren't some of you in danger? It looks like the end of the world. For a moment, there were some officials from the Kanglong Empire around Elder Qiqian who were ready to make a move. They had a bit of a bad look on their faces and were about to step forward. Changes in the secret realm are fleeting. But Elder Qiqian's expression was not so good. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 530. Used it? Emily, how can you use the things belonging to your two highnesses privately? Elder Qiqian's face was a little confused. In fact, he still liked Emily, a very talented female disciple, especially when he heard that Mo Feng Mo Zhan met with misfortune in the secret realm. He was also worried about Emily. It wasn't until he finally heard that Emily was safe that he breathed a sigh of relief. Reply to the master. There are too many dangers in the secret realm. In times of crisis, we don't care about too many rules, so we can only temporarily use the space magic weapons of our two highnesses. Emily said respectfully, otherwise, we won't be able to get out of the secret realm. After hearing these words, although Elder Qiqian had a little dissatisfaction on his face, there was nothing wrong with Emily's words, and he had no choice but to agree in the end. When His Highness Emily is in danger, you can naturally use it. However, now that we have stepped out of the secret realm, can the items in the space magic weapons of your two highnesses be taken out? A general in black clothes and armor said coldly next to Elder Qiqian. He is none other than Wei Qinglan, the general of the Forbidden Army of the Kanglong Empire, the most loyal dog of the royal family, and a master at the pinnacle of the spiritual god realm. Certainly. However, His Highness Mo Feng's resources have been used up now, so even if you want it, you can't find it. Emily said seriously. After saying these words, the faces of everyone present changed, and Wei Qinglan's face turned livid, and her eyes looking at Emily became a little more sinister. Obviously, this was just for the sake of Elder Qiqian. Otherwise, I'm afraid he will do something even more extreme. Seeing this scene, Xiao Xian couldn't help but be a little surprised. He originally thought that although Emily was not Mo Hong's biological daughter, she at least still had the status of a princess. His status is higher than that of the commander of the Forbidden Army. But now it seems that this is not the case. How could a commander of the Forbidden Army be so arrogant in front of her? Good. Since Princess Emily said so, then that's all. However, if you let me know that other people have divided up the resources, don't blame me for being rude. Wei Qinglan's face was gloomy. Now, Please follow me into the palace to meet His Majesty. Your Majesty, you are not as easy to talk to as I am. He. Hear these last words. Xiao Xian and others also had serious faces. They also knew that Wei Qinglan also represented the emperor of the Kanglong Empire to a certain extent. Speaking like this now was probably Mo Hong's instruction. Xiao Xian was calm about this. He was used to the big world and naturally he wouldn't care about these two threats. But Wang Lei and Meng Lingyun felt something was different. They were disciples of the sect, and they would still have to live on the ground of the Kanglong Empire in the future. In my heart, I was unwilling to provoke Mo Hong for this. On the other hand, Mo Li made Xiao Xian's eyes light up. Although she was a princess, she still had a calm face and was hardly intimidated by Wei Qinglan. Walk all the way. Because they were surrounded by a group of menacing forbidden forces, cultivators like Xiao Xian who had just emerged from the secret realm did not look like successful people at all, but looked like criminals. Soon, Xiao Xian and others arrived at the palace. Standing in the palace, the tall, middle-aged man wearing a yellow robe with a stern face was none other than Mo Hong. Even though he was just standing, he still had a strong aura of domination in his body, and he could show endless majesty with just one glance. I'm telling you, Your Majesty, Xiao Xian and the others have walked out of the secret realm. Wei Qinglan cupped her hands and said to Mo Hong, however, the magical weapons of the two highnesses were indeed damaged, and the resources inside were also used by them. Mo Hong's expression changed obviously, but then he still looked at Xiao Xian and others, and said with a serious face, in the secret realm, there will be all kinds of dangers, and most of them don't want this to happen. Wang Lei originally wanted to brag a little more. But anyone with a discerning eye can see that this is definitely not what he thinks in his heart. When the secret realm first appeared, only practitioners below the spiritual realm could enter. This also proved in disguise that the danger in the secret realm would not be too great. What does it mean to have a trip to a secret place thanks to your two highnesses? A pack of purple striped rats and wolves. It's like flattering a horse on the leg. Is it? Although what he said was high sounding. There are actually a population of monsters in the secret realm. It's because we encountered a group of purple striped rats and wolves in the secret realm. Mo Hong didn't show much expression on his face. Instead, he just glanced at Wang Lei coldly. Yes, in the secret realm, if our two highnesses hadn't fought so bravely and killed so many magical beasts along the way, we would have been in danger. Then tell me, how did your two highnesses encounter misfortune in the secret realm? Mo Hong didn't say much, but continued, with Feng Er and Zhanu strength at the peak of their power, are there not many things in the secret realm that can threaten him? Elder Qiqian was taken aback and couldn't believe his ears. He said, according to the detection in our royal family, the secret realm should be made by Gong Sunhea. How can there be monsters in it? Moreover, Mo Feng Mo and Mo Li and other royal family members must be together in the secret realm. Although he looked calm on the outside, in his heart, he was probably furious and was about to find an excuse to cause trouble for them. Although Wang Lei's words were genuine compliments and flattery, they sounded extremely harsh and unpleasant to Mo Hong. Mo Feng Mo Zhan will also encounter dangers, which at least means that something unusual must have happened in the secret realm. Mo Hong is naturally interested in this. Hear this explanation. The meaning behind this is not to say that his two highnesses died in their place. Under such circumstances. After saying this, Your Majesty, Palace Master Wang Ao and Valley Master Meng Sui Ao want to see you. At this time, a voice came from outside the palace door. The two highnesses are quite brave in the secret realm. Snort. It also attracted the attention of Mo Hong and Wei Qinglan. The two of them stared at Wang Lei with serious eyes, wanting to see if he was telling lies. With Wang Lei remaining on his back, he felt Mo Hong's dagger-like gaze, and he even felt that he couldn't even speak. There is no big problem with what he said. Hear these compliments. Of course, your two highnesses are also a bit unlucky. Wang Lei nodded and walked down the slope. This trip to the secret realm is also thanks to your two highnesses, otherwise we would be the ones who died in the secret realm. However, when he saw the strange expressions on the faces of Elder Qiqian and Wei Qinglan beside him, he couldn't say the next words.